Holy Grail.
Hello there guys, it is Wazilla, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We actually did this back then, all the way in season 1, or no, it was after season 2, but it was about the COD Ghost series. It was this top 5 best matches of all time, and since there is a chance that sniping tournaments will not go on any longer, we're going to reflect on pretty much just the moments of the sniping tournament. So this video will just be about the top 5 best, just most intense, entertaining matches to watch, and I hope you guys will enjoy this video. And all the links to these videos will be in the description, by the way, so if you want to go check them out, see like the full thing, then you could go check them out. But I will warn you, if you haven't seen these matches, there will be spoilers. I'm gonna be telling you about it, so if you just want to like click on the links and not even like watch it, then that's also fine. But I guess we will go into number 5. Alright, coming in at number 5, we have the Black Ops 2 matchup, Peter versus Jason in the semifinals, Game 2 specifically. The thing why this is number 5 is, well, it's a very close game. Peter actually won by a score of 20-18, and this game was just absolutely amazing. It just showed the underdog story. Now, pretty much in the semifinals, we had Peter versus Jason on one side. Peter had no losses, Jason had 1, so pretty much it was at the time where Jason would have to win 2 games and Peter would only have to win 1 to march on to the finals. And on the other side, we had Sammy versus Adrian. Now, everyone really expected Jason versus Sammy, or even Jason versus Adrian in the finals. No one really expected Peter to beat Jason, as Jason only 2 tournaments ago was a champion, and even last tournament he apparently said he didn't try since he just won a championship. He was going to take a little break, but everyone expected Jason to win this, and Jason did win game 1 by a big margin. Peter actually did that to plan and pretty much throw Jason off guard and be like, oh, it's an easy win. And then Peter came out really strong in this game, which was game 2. He came out really strong, 5-0, and by like sort of the end of the game, Peter was up 15-10. And Jason already in the past is known for his comebacks, like 13-6, 19-17, and of course the big one, 19-14. So he was looking to make another big comeback here, which he actually did, going up by a score of 16-17. And then the most remarkable thing about this game, which just made it what it is pretty much, is after it was 16-17, Jason saw Peter, but he couldn't get the kill quite yet because Peter was actually running in the opposite direction of him. So Jason was pretty much playing a little like tag game with Peter. Peter did not know Jason was behind him. Peter was running away. He ran up the stairs and into the same room that Jason killed Adrian in to win, or not to win, but he was down 19-17 and he camped in the same room that Jason did against Adrian. So Peter went in that room, and then Jason went in that room. He missed the first shot. Peter missed. They were both missing, and Peter threw a tomahawk off the ceiling, and it bounced down and killed Jason. Just probably the most amazing part about that, and I'm not gonna lie, that was probably a little bit lucky, but that just turned the tables around, and Peter just took it away at the end, and he actually won the BO2 tournament. So he said that was his hardest match, and it was just a really crazy, intense match, and the fact that this is number 5 shows that there's going to be some great matches coming up in the future. Alright, coming in at number 4, we have a very recent tournament, and it's not really one specific game, but it's really just the whole series. It's actually Christian versus Adrian in the semifinals. Now, these two have never played before this, and this matchup is just so good. Now, actually, unlike Peter versus Jason, though, nothing flashy or nothing special. There's no like moment that's really stood out from all the others, but they just kind of just went at each other's necks and just really went at it the whole entire matchup. Christian actually really dominated game 1, but he was up 17-11, and then Adrian kind of came back, almost winning it. He only lost 20-17 at the very end of it, and then he kind of took that momentum into game 2, absolutely destroying Christian. And Christian in game 3 kind of adjusted to what he was doing and took it away at the end. But overall, just a really good series between probably 2 of, you know, the greatest snipers of all time. Not the top 2 necessarily, but they're probably in the top 3 of greatest snipers of all time. and it was just a really entertaining match to watch. Obviously, two snipers that great, just going at it for in the semifinals, just to go to the finals. And yeah, overall, just a really good match. And actually, it was kind of an underdog story for Christian. The thing about Christian is he, in the BO4 tournament, he has not participated. The last tournament he participated in before BO4 was actually the tournament he won in BO3, going undefeated, and he went 6-0 in that tournament. And then in this, I don't know the exact record, but in the last two tournaments, BO3 and BO4, he was 15-1. His only loss being against Adrian in Game 2. Just completely dominating. But the reason he's an underdog is obviously he took that much time off, and he was actually looking a little bit shaky. Like in Game 1, he beat Sammy, but he didn't really destroy him. Game 2 was a forfeit. Game 3, he barely beat Mike, and Mike is not a good sniper at all. He actually almost lost against Mike. And then even in the quarterfinals against Peter, he didn't have that spark, but he really the spark kind of just went off against Adrian, and he played amazing against Adrian, getting the dub, and actually going on to win the tournament. But him versus Adrian, just amazing matchup. You should go watch it. No match was really great and specific, but the whole series just between them two was amazing, and that is the number 4 spot. Alright, well, coming in at number 3, it is once again another semifinals matchup. This one is from MWR. It is actually Jason versus Adrian. This kind of just marks the beginning of their rivalry. They actually did play one time before that, which was in BO3, but they both were actually trash, and that kind of brings up the point of why this is at number 3. Obviously, this is a great matchup in the semifinals of MWR and Jason versus Adrian. Now, before this, even Jason himself lost in the semifinals against Jacob and really hasn't proven himself yet, and was really looking to get this ring to just mark himself as one of the great snipers. Adrian was just not even known before this. Even the tournament before, he went 1-2. I forgot exactly who he lost against, but he went 1-2, got eliminated. And even in this tournament, the same one that he's in the semifinals, he lost in the first round against Trayvon 2019. He won the second round against Frosty, which wasn't really that hard to do. And then what really sparked Adrian and kind of made him who he is now was the matchup against him and Jacob in round 3. Jacob before this was a 2-time champion, and Adrian beat him, which gave him the biggest spark of confidence. He then went to go beat Peter in the quarterfinals, and then that got him to the semifinals against Jason. So this, Adrian actually won the first game against Jason. I think it was 20-16, 2015, something like that. He won. He was really hoping he'd go to the finals and just make a huge comeback story and win it all. But in Game 2, Adrian found himself up 13-6, getting very taunty as Adrian is, taunty, braggy. Just losing the lead 1 by 1 until Jason really just made an ultimate comeback and actually won it at the end. And then after that, he went to go play Tahir in the finals and was down 19-14, which is probably the most famous comeback of all time. He went to go win that as well on the 16-3 run after 19-14. But overall, Jason versus Adrian was probably the best matchup in that tournament, and just one of the greatest matchups of all time, as it just shows the two rivals, which is also the best rivalry of all time. Two rivals just kind of going at each other, and just Jason taking it at the end, really just showing his dominance and showing that he can make a comeback because he is the comeback king. And overall, just a great matchup to watch. I would suggest definitely watching this one. Just one of the all-time greats, and I guess we will go on to number 2. Alright guys, I know you're probably getting a little bit angry right now. No finals matches was good, by the way. If you want to look through all the tournament, there was just no finals match that was good. Anyways though, coming in at number 2, we have a BO3 matchup. This matchup was just insane. It's just so close to being number 1. But we have Chris, I know we have so much Chris's, but we have Chris R, which is just the initial of his last name. Obviously, I'm not going to say his last name, but Chris R, which is the Sub-Zero, versus Jacob. This was just insane. This matchup just went back and forth, and these two snipers really just showed their dominance in this. In the first matchup, obviously, because it was at the time, Jacob actually played Chris R earlier. I'm so used to saying his last name, but Jacob played Chris R earlier in this tournament and actually beat him 20-18. And they met later on in the semifinals, and Chris R won the first game 20-19. I know, this is absolutely insane. And Jacob won the second game, sending him to the finals 20-17. This matchup was just intense, insane, and these two snipers were obviously great. Obviously Chris R really didn't have his moments. I feel like if he was in the tournaments for longer, he probably would have been known as one of the all-time great snipers, but he was only in a couple of tournaments and really didn't win them all, as he has to play like really great snipers like Christian and obviously Jacob. But this is really Jacob's hardest match, as after this he went on to go win the finals against Chris C, absolutely just pummeling him, and then after that winning again, so being a two-time champion, winning again at MWR against Taher. So this matchup was just really intense. Obviously, once again, there's no flashy moments to this, but overall just a really intense match between the two great snipers, and that's all I really have to say about it. Just go watch it yourselves and you'll see why this is at number 2. Alright, and coming in at number 1, I know a lot of you probably expected this. It was literally just the same one as the one in COD Ghost. Number 1 is me versus Fation. Now, all of the we've played 3 matches. I've won 2 of them, he's won 1 of them. All of these were good. The best one in my opinion is the first one in AW. I know he did beat me in Ghost 20-19, and then I got my revenge on him in the Season 3 tournament of AW, which I think is the best one, because it kind of went back and forth and was just really intense. This is just the number 1 matchup of all time, because it's just 2 amazing snipers, definitely in the top 5 of all time, and really just intense. Now actually I was down 13-17 against him, and I just had to come in clutch for the boys, because that's just how I am. I had to get my revenge. I was not going to go out with the L. I ultimately won the matchup 20-18, and this matchup was just insane. It was obviously the best matchup of all time, and if you just watch it for yourselves, you'll see why. The reason why this is better than all the other ones is just because of the sniper level, and also the semifinals matchup, by the way. All of these matches were semifinals. For some reason, that's where the hotspot for the good matches are. The finals don't really show us any good matches. Semifinals is really where all the hot matches are. So, yeah, me and Fation just going at it, and I won at the end. He won in COD Ghost. So you can really just watch all of them. They're all just amazing, and they all deserve to be number 1. But the one I'm specifically talking about the most is the one in AW. That, in my opinion, was the best one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I guess you could watch all 5 of these matches if you want. They're all, the best matches of all time. That's why they're in this list. And I will catch you guys in the next top 5 video. Peace.